Oh, it's live, pal.
Sorry.
We will ban you from the Summerfest.
Right here in the Silverdome.
Jeff Harvey.
And I have half the brain that you do.
Welcome to the Wrestle Hunks Podcast, a podcast where three hunks get together and discuss some of the very worst things you can find on the WWE Network, and the only podcast that knows that WWE stands for We Want Escobar. Eric Escobar, that is. I'm your host, the Mordecai of microphone, Brandon Marlow, and as always, I'm joined by the hunkiest hunk, Brody Price.
I'm sweaty at the moment.
Yeah, the old Harvey Globetrotter yourself.
Yeah, injuries, but you know the podcast comes first, so I'm here.
Did you win?
Yes. Do you want me to run you through it quickly? What happened?
Yep, sure.
A bit rusty. I was like 0 of 10 from 3. Down 5. It was like in the last minute. I hit a 3. We forced a turnover. I hit another 3, and we win the game.
So,
Unbelievable.
hits and wins that counts.
Yeah, winning time is the only time that matters to me.
It's kind of like that time on the WWE Confidential DVD that I had. Bradshaw, Jacqueline, and Big Show played a game of horse.
That's pretty much what happened, I think.
Bradshaw's pretty good at basketball. Jacqueline, not so much.
Yeah. What are you going to do?
The other voice you hear on this podcast is the IMDb of wrestling, Nathan Marlow.
Howdy.
You got any basketball stories to share? Because I think this is going to be a short one.
No, they don't like me playing basketball anymore. I'm too good.
Yeah.
They banned me from the league.
You're a damn thug.
Hey, if I hadn't have got a knee injury, bro, I would have been playing NBA.
If I didn't get a concussion that one time playing Craigieburn men's domestic, our team could have been anything. But
Exactly.
We had to withdraw from that league.
Jazz Kings.
Bring him back.
Jazz Kings, rest in peace.
That's the jersey I was wearing tonight.
Have you actually?
Oh, really?
Yeah, they've had to go back to wearing jerseys that match. Like
Okay.
So,
Oh, yeah, mine's there.
yeah, felt good.
Throwback Thursday. So the Wrestle Hunks Podcast is again brought to you by a sponsor. We skipped our sponsor last week, in the excitement of covering the first ever episode of WCW Thunder. We were so eager to cover 3 hours of Larry Zbyszko, we forgot to do this. So this
He didn't make the sounds.
This week, we're going to have our expert Hulk Hogan tell you a little more about our sponsor.
Well, let me sell you something, brother. It's the WCW cologne, dude. It's nitro for men, man. And if you want to smell like an ass kisser like me, then you'll want to smell like the big boy smell, brother. Dude.
It's interesting that the WCW cologne didn't go the WWF route and have some bongo jazz man do it.
Well, if you want the cologne...
Taker and Kane.
Kane. Respect.
Austin Rock.
That's still one of the weirdest things I reckon the WWF has ever done, and they've done some fucking weird shit. They had the squirt heads.
So, I mean, squirt heads, at least they have a purpose. For kids. What do I want to smell like a wrestling company?
I mean, yeah, that's a good point. So this week we are reviewing Walk With Elias, the documentary, and it's really the first time we've ever covered something like this. Our weekly poll was actually a tie between King of the Ring 2000 and Walk With Elias, but I made an executive decision that we'd be covering Walk With Elias because we've done about a bajillion pay-per-views at this point. We're at episode 21, so I thought we'd shake it up here. I'm just getting real sick of these ties in the poll. I don't know about you boys, but people need to really just think about what they're voting for.
Yeah, this is serious business, that poll. I don't know what they're doing.
I feel like we've had a tied poll at least 5 times at this point.
I think it's 3.
Is it only 3, surely?
Pretty sure it's 3.
They've been all recent as well, like the last couple of podcasts we've done. So
it's interesting.
Yeah.
I think more disappointing is that we didn't get Kitchen Smackdown over the line.
Yeah, that's true.
Like
I really want to watch that.
I even put in there, like, if Kitchen Smackdown gets up, we're also going to review Fashion Files, and that still didn't entice people to pick it. They picked King of the Ring 2000.
Right. That's a good little incentive, having fashion files there as well.
We would have talked about Tyler Breeze's career.
Exactly. We talk about Tyler Breeze, Fandango,
Enes Kanter's career.
Enes Kanter. I want to really talk about Enes Kanter. Turkey keep trying to bring him back to murder him because he apparently helped the coup that happened there.
Yeah, he's got like a warrant out for his arrest. I think they've said that he's gonna he can't travel to London for the New York Knicks game because he might get killed over there.
Yeah, I got a notification in the last week, I think, about that situation. It just keeps going. Instead,
Very strange.
Instead, we're just gonna have to cover Nat's favorite wrestler, Elias.
Hello, my name is Elias.
So the background of this event, there's not a whole lot to talk about here, but we do have the premiere date for this documentary, which was July 30 of last year. And on this day in history, we had the Australian Catholic Archbishop Philip Wilson resigning after being convicted of concealing sexual abuse. We
Keep
also
it in your pants, mate.
What was that?
Keep it in your pants, mate.
Yeah, you know what they say, old Philly Willy.
Fill them up.
He loved to fill those kids up.
You like to fill up Will's son.
Jesus.
In less serious news, the British Foreign Secretary Jeremy Hunt, no relation to Carmichael, he mistakenly calls his Chinese-born wife Japanese in a meeting with his Chinese counterpart in Beijing. Which
That's the content I like.
That's a bit embarrassing when you don't know the nationality of your wife, but we needed as a country something to lighten the mood after Philip Wilson couldn't keep in his pants.
Yeah,
I mean, is that what AEW did? They accidentally doing a partnership with a Chinese wrestling company? Am I allowed to say that?
Oh, I thought this was DDT.
Someone came in. One of them came in. Maybe Matt Jackson. He's like, I've got this great thing, Japanese company. For some reason, nobody's ever heard of them. They do all this flippy shit, and they're like, oh, cool, sign them. And then it's fucking China. It's Ho Ho Loon's promotion.
I think they're the same case.
So in more depressing news, the official Malaysian investigation into the disappearance of Flight 370 is unable to determine what happened. So,
What a saga that was.
I believe Kevin Sullivan did it.
He might as well have.
In pop culture news, we had Mission Impossible Fallout being the #1 film at the box office, and In My Feelings by Drake was the top song on the charts. It feels like just yesterday those that song and that movie were out.
Kiki, do you love me?
I'm gonna be honest. I can't even remember Mission Impossible Fallout being a thing last year.
Apparently, it was good.
It's rated pretty well.
I don't know, man. The Mission Impossible. It's the 6th one. I don't know.
I don't care for it, but it's rated pretty well.
Good for them.
I don't believe in Tom Cruise. Unless it's that War of the Worlds movie made in about 2005. I don't want to hear about it.
I believe in Scientology.
Hey, there's a Scientology church not that far from where I live. So I might head down there, see if they got any factoids about Mission Impossible Fallout.
Scientology still a thing?
Yeah, it's still a thing.
Make sure you take your Bunsen burner.
What?
Science, bro.
I was real disappointed when I went to high school in year 7. I'm like, oh, 6 science. Go learn about Scientology, and it was just just dissect his heart.
Yeah.
So disappointing.
Basically, the only other background I have on this is that this is a mockumentary, and it was created to follow the lead up to the release of Elias's album, which, yes, he has an actual album that I think did it crack the top 10 on the charts eventually? I don't know.
We might have to get that into trivia.
I'm glad I didn't look it up. And yeah, it also kind of covers his road to WrestleMania. And that basically brings us into the show. And unfortunately, as far as I can tell, there's no dead people in this mockumentary. There could be dead people in some of the crowds that Elias plays for, but nobody notable.
Jesus.
The cats from CFOs are still alive, so...
Thank God.
They're basically main characters in this. It's Elias and then them.
I enjoyed it. I didn't really know what they looked like, so it was nice to see them.
I didn't expect to see that. I'm like, oh, cool. And they were kind of funny in this, so... Made me like him even more. Jim Johnson, he ain't doing none of that.
Nah, he's too old.
He's living with his money.
Yeah, living
Swimming.
off those fucking Stone Cold theme royalties.
Exactly.
So let's get right into the documentary, and it kicks off with a shot of New York City, and Elias is doing an interview with Hot 97 and Pete Rosenberg, who many wrestling fans would know these days because he's on every fucking kickoff panel. Absolute ding-dong. At least he's not Pat McAfee, though.
The bald dude.
I know you like Pat McAfee, Pricey.
Yeah, I just like his interactions with Adam Cole. It's very entertaining.
So during this interview, Elias announces that an album is on the way, and then some cat that is on Hot 97 says that John Cena's music was terrible, and whoever that was that said that, he can go suck lemon.
Jeez, Jack would he would kill him. If Jack heard that, he would fucking stab that guy.
I feel like it's such an unfair shot. His music wasn't that bad.
I liked it.
Like, he's a decent rapper. He's definitely better than Elias. Like,
Yeah, that's true.
You know who wouldn't agree with that?
who?
John Cena's cousin, the trademark.
Hey, the trademark made Kurt Angle's TNA theme, so...
Really?
Yeah, that's my favourite little factoid. He made that, and that theme is a banger. That's better than his WWE theme, I reckon.
100%.
Used to get me so pumped. He would come out from, like, the floor, kind of like Rey Mysterio, but he wouldn't jump.
Yeah, it was sick. Slowly raised him up.
Yeah, it was... Oh, man. Bring back TNA. I don't want to know this
didn't do a
Impact
lot
Wrestling shit.
They didn't do a lot right, but they got that one right, for sure.
So we then see Elias doing an interview with Complex where he says that the album is coming out on July 23rd, which is a week before this aired. And Elias also announces that he has the greatest performance of a lifetime prepared for WrestleMania. We then get the title card for the movie, and we see Elias in a studio. He gets asked why is now the right time to release an album, and he says that he's got plenty of songs that he's written, and he just can't hold them in anymore. And
Just like any great artist.
yeah, I know. He's been in NXT since like 2014 with this gimmick, so he actually would have a lot of songs written. Especially like he's playing a different song every night. Maybe he might reuse stuff for house shows, but
There's only 12 chords on the scale, Brennan.
he's a songwriting powerhouse. Someone actually mentions that in one of like the interviews he does with music people. It's like, oh, he writes a new song every show he plays. I'm like, that's actually a good point. Not many people could do that.
It's true. He's the greatest musical mind of our generation.
And he really does his research, as we saw when he came for Super Showdown.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I bet he's going to mention Collingwood losing the grand final, and he did.
Absolute. That one stung. Pretty good night.
And everyone cheered that they won.
It would have been
Yeah,
great.
exactly.
It would have been great if we could hear that, because everyone was just booing the fuck out of him. I've never heard someone get booed so relentlessly, and we missed the punchline.
Yeah, but, I mean, why did he have to do that? Like, I thought I was having a nice night at the Graps, and he just brought up that heartache from a week earlier.
It was just, it cut deep for a lot of the Collingwood supporters there.
And there's the Seattle one he did.
The Supersonics?
Was that about Supersonics? Yeah.
Yeah, that one would hurt Pricey a little bit.
Nah, fuck Seattle, man.
Whoa.
They don't deserve the team that left them.
Yeah, Pricey doesn't believe in the Supersonics.
No, bro. I'm Oklahoma City through and through.
Wow.
So next up, we get our first kind of cut to a WWE superstar giving their kind of small thoughts on Elias, and it's The Miz who asks when can he get the album and how fast. I just wanted to take this opportunity to say I always thought The Miz should have had a stable of like people who were performers. Like, they could have had Elias, Fandango, Tyler Breeze, Aiden English, Heath Slater, No Way Jose, and R-Truth in it. Like,
What does No Way Jose perform?
dance.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
I was gonna throw Naomi in there as well because she's kind of a dance person too. But I was like, I don't know. Like,
I mean, Carmella's a better dancer than No Way Jose, if I'm being honest.
true. Yeah, we could throw Carmella in there as well. Like, that would be a sick stable.
You should have like a brand. Is that what you're trying to think of? Or?
Yeah, there's like a talent agency.
Yeah, that's the one. Yeah.
There's a missed opportunity, I reckon. Nat, you have a suggestion for a new stable, though, I think.
They should remake the Nation of Domination with R-Truth, Mark Henry, and MVP, and Kofi Kingston and Shelton Benjamin.
Which white person should be in there to replace Owen Hart?
They have to be a good worker, but they're irrelevant.
Oh, Teddy Hart. Throw Teddy Hart in there.
We'll go with Ty Dillinger. Oh, Dolph. Dolph's a good pick too.
Yeah, Dolph would be a good pick, actually. So Elias says that he needs to write the album because WrestleMania is coming up. Mojo Rawley then laughs at the idea of an Elias album, and I just think Mojo should fuck off because...
What's he ever fucking done?
I know. The only thing he's ever achieved in his life is being friends with Rob Gronkowski.
Gronk won that fucking Battle Royal for him.
Yeah.
He really did.
He didn't win the Battle Royal.
He did a lot more than Mojo did because he had to fight past that security guard that thought he was just a random fan jumping in. Did you see that? Apparently, she just works for WWE, that security guard, because she is in the video of Enzo getting thrown out.
Yeah.
So she doesn't fuck around.
She's a big fan. Everyone's a big fan of hers backstage, apparently.
She's like the old guy that had no Attitude Era.
Was there?
Yeah, that big guy who was bald.
Stone Cold.
I don't remember this cat. You talking about Stone Cold?
Is his name Jim?
I don't know. I don't remember this. He would have had his fucking hands full in that era. People were trying to run in, fuck shit up all the time.
Jim Dotson.
Never heard of him.
Yeah, never
heard of him.
Ducked him in the Hall of Fame. Him and Jim Johnson.
He used to wear that Triple H hat, and he's just had a mustache. He was big.
Was he the dude that had to stop fucking the guy that ran in and interfered in the Eddie Guerrero RVD ladder match?
He might have been gone or dead before then.
Eddie laid into that guy as well. I love seeing that. That's funny.
I'm glad when a wrestler does that. They used to do it all the time. I feel like Kevin Nash used to just beat the shit out of people that would do that in WCW. Good for you. Just fucking get a few potatoes in.
I think I've seen Triple H do it as well. It's good shit.
I think CM Punk hit a fan as well once. He was doing a Raw thing where he went through the crowd at the end.
Yes, he backhanded him or something, didn't he?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
He also said when he came out here in Australia, he said that somebody had a vagina, which is quite
You have
humorous.
a vagina. That's one of the best insults he's ever come up with.
It was all downhill for Punk from there.
Yeah, that's true.
After Mojo, we get Jonathan Coachman, who says he thought it was a joke when he heard that he was releasing an album. We then get Pete Garnbarg, president of A&R at Atlantic Records, and he says, "I have no idea who Elias is." And old mate Pete's delivery of this line, it really popped me. I don't know why. Such a simple line, but I was like, you get it, Pete. You get this industry.
Well, so just going back on when Coach said he thought it was a joke. I thought it was a joke when Coach was on Raw commentary.
Oh, bang.
Well, jumping off that, I thought it was a joke when I turned on fucking SportsCenter one day and Jonathan Coachman's fucking hosting it.
Yeah.
And then they cross live to some thing and it's Todd Grisham. Yeah. What kind of fantasy land am I living in here?
And then there's Mike Adamle.
We're not going to make fun of Mike Adamle anymore. He's got degenerative brain syndrome or something.
And he also had that thing with Cena and Mickey James, so...
That was actually pretty good. It didn't change my opinion on him.
No hate from me.
I'm kind of sad that Terry never graduated from WWE backstage interviewer to SportsCenter personality.
Wonder what she's done.
True.
So after we get Pete Garnbarg, Bailey comes up and she's actually very supportive of Elias. She also tells him to call her. So, is she trying to smash or what?
That's from the Mixed Match Challenge.
Yeah.
Is it? I don't think I've ever watched the Mixed Match Challenge outside of the dance break.
Yeah, and Bailey was trying to get his attention by learning how to play guitar.
I can appreciate that.
Good storytelling.
It's the kind of storytelling you don't see in 2019.
Exactly. They've left it behind.
Yeah, they're too focused on trying to please us, the authority, instead of just, telling stories.
I said I bring the authority back.
We cut to the first recording session for Elias's album, which apparently took place on January 23, which is actually almost a year to the day today. It's two days off it, which I only just realised. And he's recording the song 14 Days Till Tomorrow, which apparently is a song that is currently unreleased. So we're seeing, a little peek behind the curtain there, and it's kind of like how John Cena's song from the Legendary soundtrack was unreleased, Nat.
Oh, that's a great song. The heel Cena theme song.
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
Yes.
Yeah, banger.
Have you ever seen that DVD, Pricey?
Yeah, I have. They should release that. Oh, that's a fucking banger.
That's
Hustle, loyalty, respect.
I don't know the other words, but they stood out.
That's pretty much it.
That song was a banger, and that DVD is low key one of the best things the WWE did. It wasn't like your typical let's go through Cena's career. It was literally like a year of his life, and they just followed him.
It was really good.
And it also gave us him singing Cody Rhodes' dashing theme entrance music.
Whoa, there goes Cody Rhodes. That's one of my favourite thing ever of Cena.
when that came up in the DVD, I'm like, oh, all right, yeah, Cena's a good guy. Next up, we cut to Michael Lowry and John Ali Castro, who together are more commonly known as CFOs, or I don't know how I'm supposed to pronounce that. I'll just go with CFOs.
It's actually UFOs.
Like you got a dollar sign in there, like your cash. Am I supposed to be like CFO money, CFO cash?
No, you're right.
It's true.
UFOs.
It's a lot easier to just say Jim Johnson. So they say that working with Elias is unique, and we kind of see Elias bossing them around in production. He also asks for a harmonica, and they ask him if he knows how to play the harmonica. And
He just looks at him.
there's so much good comedy in this. Like, shit like this is why the network is such a good idea. They just give wrestlers the chance to do weird shit like this.
People complain about content like this on the network, if you can believe that.
Like, how can you complain about this? Like, you get enough actual wrestling content. Like, there's a bajillion hours of it.
Because I saw someone, they complained about Botch Club and Kitchen Smackdown. They're like, oh, Edge and Christian show is not very good. All that's not real content. It should be wrestling.
We need more content of wrestlers taking the piss. Like, that's why I started watching Being the Elite. It's just a few cats just having a laugh on the road.
We don't get cool backstage things anymore. Like, we don't get fucking Stone Cold versus Booker T in the bloody supermarket.
So you got to put it on the network.
Exactly. Put shit like that on the network. Fucking Zack Ryder and Kurt Hawkins fucking fighting over wrestling figures.
That's good.
After that, we see The Miz say that he thinks Elias will be number one, and Miz is just a fucking huge Elias mark.
He's just a mark for the Marine.
Hell yeah, I want to watch Marine 6 Battleground or whatever the fuck his one's called.
Do you know the first Marine is the worst rated one?
Really?
Do you know that was also filmed in 2004 when he was stabbed by Zeus?
Oh, yeah, that's why they did write him off with that.
Yeah.
I respect a man being able to be stabbed and then go film a very physically intense movie like The Marine.
Makes sense.
He should have got an Oscar. If Leonardo DiCaprio got an Oscar for crawling around in the snow for The Revenant, John Cena should have got an Oscar nom for that.
Also, most of that movie was shot in Queensland.
Yeah, WWE used to do that. I think Queensland used to have like huge like tax.
Yeah, Condemned is.
Yeah, because the Condemned's from there. Also, shout out to the Condemned for doing Fortnite's like battle royale shit before Fortnite. Just nice. Saying, it should be a Condemned video game.
So topical.
Could you imagine? That was something the WWE would do. It's like, hey, it's the Condemned mobile game.
I think that's just a Royal Rumble.
So after that, we see more footage from the studio, and it's Elias. He says to the CFOs, "Can you guys fix that, or do I have to play it correctly?" Which again, like going back to that, it's just so much funny shit in this documentary.
There's a lot of good content, to be honest, in this one.
I know I was kind of like unsure about how good this would be going into it, but I mean, it immediately won me over with basically just Elias stealing the show.
And like, I don't think I've ever heard anyone talk about this. I don't remember it being advertised on Raw or SmackDown, so we need to get this out there. The people should actually watch this. It's not bad.
Yeah, like I remember they mentioned it. I think I might have watched the Raw like that this aired after, and they mentioned it. But like nobody on Twitter talked about it. When Kitchen Smackdown happened, I saw so many people like tweeting shit from it. But yeah, I didn't hear anything about Walk With Elias, which is like weird because Elias is pretty fucking over. So we then see Elias say that he's known his special since he was born, and he says his earliest music memories are Eric Clapton, and then he got his first guitar at 15, and we see footage of him playing back in the day. And I just wanted to point out that Elias, as a teen, looks like a school shooter.
Like, a little bit. He looks a bit emo.
I looked at him and I'm like, man, that dude was a couple bad days away from shooting up his school. What the fuck? You say I can't fucking play?
But then he found the road so he could walk and be Elias.
He did. He became a drifter.
Exactly.
I kind of miss him being the drifter.
That's true.
Because people would chant "drift away."
Yeah, I thought that was an Australian thing. I thought we came up with that when Nat and I went to the live event they had here.
No, that was just like that was just like an NXT specific thing, and then it kind of died out when they stopped calling him the Drifter for some reason.
Yeah.
And then they took away his last name.
He's no longer Elias Sampson.
Bring it back. I think his last name should drift back in.
Hey.
Nice.
Well, yeah, so as Nat mentioned, we have him talk about his time as a drifter, drifting from town to town, and then he ends up in the WWE, and we see his debut on Raw, which was just him walking through the crowd for a few weeks.
That was strange the way to bring him in.
It really was. I think, did they do it the night after Mania as well?
I think that was
he was drifting.
Yeah.
It was kind of like last week when Raven's flock drifted through the crowd and were never mentioned again.
That's true.
So after that, we see a compilation of superstars performing with him on Monday Night Raw and fans saying how much they love him. Bayley is very horny for him here, but Seth Rollins isn't horny for him, and he says he is a -3 out of 10.
He doesn't have an opinion.
Fucking Seth.
You know why?
Why?
You know why? Because he just fucking put himself into a match at WrestleMania with that bloody money in the bloody briefcase. He doesn't get an opinion. He doesn't get a say.
I think he doesn't get an opinion because he dated that chick that like had all that Nazi shit.
Nazi lady.
Yeah, and then her nudes leaked, and then his nudes leaked.
Big hoss.
Yeah, there's a big hoss.
You can see Seth Rollins' dick anytime you want on the internet. Fucking 2019 is wild. Somebody who wouldn't be looking up Seth Rollins' penis is AJ Styles, because he's not a fan of the gay community.
The gay community?
He calls Elias a hippie, and then Rusev says he smells, which popped me for some reason. It's so dumb. That's the only thing from Rusev in this as well. He just goes, he smells.
I kind of just wanted Elias to say back, whatever. I wanted him to say, whatever Rusev says, I don't smell.
And then Elias kind of talks about the WWE's record high stock price, and he says that it's all because of him. It's kind of hard to argue with, him just having those fucking absolute shred sessions on Raw. That's really getting the people on Wall Street to just throw money at Vince McMahon. Next up, we see Elias being interviewed by Graham Hartman, a writer for Loudwire, which is a music website, and Elias believes he's from Rolling Stone for some reason. The writer has to correct him, but Elias ain't hearing it, and he just keeps referring to being on the cover of Rolling Stone. And he also tells him that he plays all the instruments on the album. I really got a kick out of him thinking the writer was from Rolling Stone.
I believe that he played all the instruments.
Did he play the drums on Raw at some stage? Because they kept cutting to footage.
Yes, he did.
I never saw that. Why did he do that?
If you got on his wiki, there's no mention of his feud with Braun Strowman.
At all. That was pretty extensive, wasn't it?
They skip it. They go from Finn to the Seth, and then they go to the Bobby Lashley feud.
If you just looked up his Wikipedia, you would never find out about Braun playing the big cello.
Exactly. Or with the piano.
That was actually around that time when Braun started saying, "Get these hands." So that's a pivotal period of time for him. Next up, we cut to New York on March 16th. So we're getting close to WrestleMania here, and Elias is recording 2 new songs and then going to Madison Square Garden for the WWE live event that night. 3 girls walk out of his hotel room, so you know Elias is getting his fuck on. I wasn't expecting something like that in this. WWE is still pretty PG. They're trying to be more risky lately, but I'm not expecting them to be alluding to him just fucking some groupies.
Hey, they could have been doing anything. He might have just been playing a song for him, or
playing checkers,
having a bubble bath together, or something like that. You never know.
Yeah, that's a good point. We see him in the studio recording the Ballad of Every Town I've Ever Been To, and Elias is frustrated that CFOs are trying to help him, and we also see him record Elias's words. After that, we see Elias getting ready for the MSG show, and he's bragging about being on a billboard there, but apparently Elias has paid Madison Square Garden to be on there. But number 1 top journalism, Michael Cole, disputes that. He says that Madison Square Garden and the Dolan family actually approached Elias and not the other way around.
I have to agree with that.
Yeah, come on. Elias ain't fucking paying them. I don't think Elias would have the cash. He's a drifter. They clearly would have paid him. We also see him talking about a band called Fish, and he says, Fish. They can't even spell their own name right, because it's spelled Phish, which is another classic Elias line there.
To be honest, this character he's going with here, they should have done more stuff. Most of his stuff was just him singing and talking in the ring. They should have done stuff like this backstage. It's very entertaining.
Yeah, I get a real from this mockumentary, a real kind of the Office vibe. That's kind of how I felt the entire time. If he did shit like that on Raw, I feel like it'd be even more over, instead of just being go out into the ring and then say about how much the town sucks, and then say something about Finn Balor or Seth Rollins.
Nat, you've seen this movie. Have you seen Popstar Never Stop, Never Stopping?
Yes, I have.
I haven't.
What a movie.
I'm very ashamed that I haven't, because it's something I want to say. I love Andy Samberg.
Do you think that's what I thought of when I was watching this? Nat, what do you reckon?
Oh, what a movie. Good parody movie. It's an exact parody of the Justin Bieber movie, almost.
But this sort of had the same vibe. I thought it was pretty good.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I haven't seen it.
It was really funny.
I imagine they're going for a similar vibe here.
Yeah, I think so. That's what I kept thinking of.
So after Elias enters Madison Square Garden, he's walking around with a photo of himself that he says that they gave to him to hang on the walls, and he's looking for a good spot, and he thinks he's found one and tries to hang it up, but then he gets told off by security, and they're not having it, and he kind of plays it off. So after that, it's the actual live event that we cut to, and it's Elias's performance, which that night, for some reason, it's right before a Sonya Deville match. Sonya Deville is actually in the ring, which I was confused by. I just thought, if you're going to have Sonya Deville out there, should have her, shadow box along to the song. Because, if we know there's one thing that Sonya Deville is good at doing, it's shadow boxing. So
it's true.
Combine Elias's musical talents with that, it would have been something special for the New York crowd.
Well, they sort of cut away from her, so maybe she was. That was a great night.
They didn't want to have her overshadow Elias.
I see what you did there.
Next up, we see Elias at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in Cleveland on March 26th. He reckons he's going to set up the Elias wing there, and he says that the area is actually already under construction and shows us a part of the place that's currently being built. And some construction ding-dong knocks some tool down or something, and Elias tells him to be careful, which, again, that popped me. He speculates about who would induct him into the Hall of Fame, and naturally he says he'll probably induct himself.
Well, no one's on his level.
Just so no one messes it up.
Yeah.
Well, I think, is Eric Clapton dead? Because he talks a lot about him, so I'd assume they maybe get him to induct him.
And then he tells the construction guy off for making too much noise.
Yeah, that's, I was going to mention that, it's coming up. I fucking love that. It's like, there's so much shit in this documentary where, like, I feel like it's just Elias going off script to shit that's happening around him.
Yeah, it does feel like that.
There's no way that dude who's building in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame, they're like, oh, just kick over this thing. And then Elias will say the thing. No, he's just like, he's gone off script, which I feel like that, again, supports not having scripts on Raw. Just let guys go out there and fucking just freeform, you know, jazz it up.
That's when the best shit comes out.
So after that, we cut to his final recording session for the album, which takes place on March 28th. He's recording Walk With Me. He then absolutely shreds on the electric guitar. We're truly blessed to see this performance. And at this moment, I really considered changing my tattoo idea from having Good Charlotte on it to being Elias.
I think that's a good idea. Have we talked about this on the podcast before?
I don't think we've ever mentioned my brilliant tattoo idea before.
We should run through it.
Well, I almost forget it. It starts off with the painting of like God touching, like having his finger out touching that man, isn't it?
Is it?
I think it's that, but it's your face and Nat's face, and then Benji Madden and Joel Madden from Good Charlotte are looking up, and they're just shredding on the guitar.
Yes. Oh, so me and Nat would be touching. Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah.
And Good Charlotte are just looking up on you. But I think after hearing him shred on the electric guitar, it should just be Elias and then also Elias.
Yeah, two Eliases.
Yeah, 100%.
He also, after he plays the electric guitar, he gets on the piano and he's just smashing those keys like he's damn Mozart and records Nothing I Can't Do, which he's just, you know, blessed in all forms of musical talent. The question I had for you guys, though, is, and I don't know if you noticed it, but when he's recording Nothing I Can't Do, there is a fucking life-sized taxidermied bear holding a beer can behind him while he's doing it.
I did not notice this at all.
Yeah, if you go back, there's a big old bear holding a beer can, literally like right behind him, like where he's sitting.
That sounds amazing.
Which I was like, why is that in the recording studio? I don't get it. And yeah, I think Jonathan Coachman says that he's a former concert pianist for some reason. I'm like, okay, shut up, Coach. The best thing Coach ever did was the Miller Lite catfight at WrestleMania 19.
By far.
So we're going to take a little break here for Nat's trivia because we don't have a main event, so we're just going to kind of shove it in right here.
It's now time for Nat's Trumpet Trivia. That's as good as I could find with a T.
The Santino trumpet.
Get Kane to do it. Alright, so the trivia score is Pricey. He is leading. He's out by a mile in 2019. He's on 6. Brandon, you're on 4.
Oh, let's catch up footy.
It is. Just a big, giant lead. Yeah. So this week, we are sponsored by Creative Writer, the kids' alternative to Microsoft Word. Enjoy cool fonts, amazing borders, and electrifying clip art only on Creative Writer.
Honestly, Creative Writer is what taught me how to make the show notes for this show. That's where I cut my teeth on Creative Writer.
Oh, see? There you go.
It's also, I learnt my Photoshop skills initially in KidPix.
There you go. Kid Picks, another one. Maybe they'll sponsor us soon.
I hope so when you get that Kid Picks money.
Alrighty. Question 1. Can you tell me the 3 gimmick matches Elias and Bobby Lashley had? One was on the MSG show.
They had the guitar on a pole where you win the match when you pull it down and you don't get to use it.
Yeah.
What kind of match was that though?
Guitar on a pole ladder match.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
I don't know the exact name. I actually didn't watch any of that on that pre-show because that was fuck that off. I'm gonna say they had a street fight at some point.
Miracle on 34th Street fight?
Yep.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did have that.
And the one at MSG, I wouldn't have a clue. I wasn't there.
I want to say they had a singing contest at MSG.
No, you're wrong. They had the ladder match with the guitar at TLC. They had a Miracle on 34th Street fight and a guitar on a pole match at MSG.
Classic. The Vince Russo staple.
Vince Russo has struck again.
How do you get the points out of that one?
You're supposed to get all 3, mate.
Oh, so no points.
I don't know why he's taking your fucking sweet ass time.
Sorry. I'm trying to
You should be.
Sorry.
You should be.
I'm sorry.
Okay, first in question. First in wins. Can anyone tell me WWE's favourite band?
Limp Bizkit.
Limp Bizkit.
Oh, Brandon's Shoggies.
It's really Florida Georgia Line though, or Pitbull.
I would say
Maybe
Insane
Florida.
Cloud Posse. Ow! The oddities. Alright. Question 3. First in. On April 1st, 2017, who defeated Odie Lorcan?
Elias?
Incorrect.
What?
20. Did you say 2017?
Yeah, April 1st, 2017.
Blue pants.
Leo Rush?
No, it's El Vagabundo.
Oh, yes. Fuck, I forgot
It's
about that.
Elias
yes.
Under a Mask, which is
Oh
also
my-
Spanish for the Drifter.
Oh my god, I've completely forgot about that.
Yeah, he
Wow.
lost that loser leaves town match, and they
Right.
That was his only televised as not Elias. That he did a few house shows as different characters.
That's great.
So question 4, sorry. What was this is first in? What was Elias's first NXT match?
Oh God.
I'm looking for the participants
versus,
or participant, not a date.
So, well, now I have to. You said participants first, so now I'm all curious about that.
Or participant.
Baron Corbin? Baron Corbin? No?
No, incorrect.
Oh, I'm gonna say he wrestled. Fuck,
Would you like a hint? Would you like a hint, Brandon?
Oh, I would love a hint.
It's a tag match. You don't have to name his partner.
So I don't have to name his partner. I want to say he faced the Revival.
Incorrect. It's April 24th, 2014. Him and Buddy Murphy versus Connor and Victor.
That was my second guess. I was gonna say maybe the Ascension, but I stuck with the top guys.
Okay, so what does that leave us? Brandon's on 1 point after 4 questions.
Hell yeah.
Brody, you're bloody digging a hole here for yourself.
Sorry.
The run rate's fallen. Question 5, first in. Actually, no, we'll go closest answer wins for this one. Question 5. What was the peak of Elias's album in the US Billboard charts?
16?
I want to say 13.
That's exactly right, 13.
Fuck. I remember them saying 13.
But on another one, it said 10 for some other thing. So I didn't get
think-
what that was.
It was like, I feel like he cracked the top 10 on some weird chart, but like it was 13th
Okay.
like on the actual like overall, which is fucking weird. Almost as weird as the time Fandango's theme almost hit number 1 on the overall charts.
Well, he's just a music star. So question 6. Who was Elias's first main roster opponent?
I don't remember this at all.
Yeah, do I?
Elias won by DQ.
Fuck it, this was Jason Jordan.
Incorrect.
Seth Rollins?
No, Dean Ambrose.
Oh, Dirty Dean.
Close enough, though. They are all on the Shield.
Yeah.
He's a fucking
But-
lunatic.
Question 7. At least I know someone will get this. Okay, first in. What did Jason Jordan throw at Elias?
Celery?
Jason Jordan throw in.
Or just fruit in general?
Not fruit.
What?
Oh. I have no idea.
Fucking when you ready?
I have no idea.
Is it vegetables then?
Yeah, it's fucking vegetables. Jesus, Pricey.
I thought he threw celery.
Today, Junior.
Bring back Jason Jordan in other news. It's Kurt's son.
You're right there, Walter? Pricey?
What?
You just having a bit of fun there?
I'm trying to figure out these answers, but the questions aren't great.
How do you not guess vegetables?
When would he have ever thrown vegetables in?
How do you not remember that? He did it for 2 weeks.
Oh, mate, I wasn't watching Raw when Jason Jordan was on. Trust me. Trust me on that.
Fuck. I've got nothing to say. Question 8. Closest answer wins. What was he ranked in 2018's PWA Top 500?
You mean PWI?
Yeah, PWA. Not TWA. Top 500 2018. What's your closest answer
Is
wins?
this the kayfabe one? The kayfabe
Yeah,
list?
17.
Yeah.
No, 63.
Almost correct. 69. Pricey gets the points.
No way he wasn't the 69th best wrestler in kayfabe.
Well, he was 69 with Bailey.
He was... he was pushed like crazy though.
Maybe that was the 2018, but it's 2017's year. I don't know.
I swear if bloody fucking Bandito was ahead of him.
Maybe Wikipedia gave me some false answers.
Pricey bloody put that in there. He knew you were going to look at it.
Exactly right. First in question for question 9. Who gave Elias a guitar?
Eric Clapton?
Incorrect. No, incorrect. John Mayer.
I don't remember that.
Is that a thing like you mentioned on Raw?
Oh my god, you guys really don't know anything about Raw.
I don't remember every specific Elias.
You don't see this over Twitter? You don't remember how Coach said John Mayer was a rapper?
No.
Are you Oh, gee, wow. I was all over Twitter.
I only get my wrestling news through GIFs from Total Divas episodes.
This is the worst trivia I've done, and it's not my fault. Okay, so question 10. You guys aren't going to get this.
Speak for yourself.
Question 10. On the 2018 Elias World Tour t-shirt, what is the last city listed?
Who the fuck's going to get that?
I'm going to say it's Pittsburgh.
Real Elias fans. It's incorrect. That's incorrect.
Damn it.
Los Angeles.
Fucking incorrect. It's parts unknown. That's the fucking trivia. Brandon wins. Scores 6-5. Fuck yes.
Did I win 1-0?
3-1.
Oh. Hey,
Jesus.
Pittsburgh's pretty close to parts unknown.
You know where parts unknown is close to?
Where?
This segment getting cancelled because you ding-dongs are retarded.
Come on, those questions are pretty shitty, let's be honest.
What do you want me to fucking work with?
It's Elias. I don't know anything about Elias.
I want questions about the Vancouver Grizzlies again.
True or false? Nathan owns a Vancouver Grizzlies ticket.
False?
True.
Why do you own a ticket?
It cost me $3
Nice.
from like a game against the Indiana Pacers.
Was at least a good seat at that game?
I have no fucking idea. I've actually searched it out. That's a good question.
Yeah, I was in the nose.
Maybe I should put that one in the trivia.
Well, moving on from another stellar trivia segment where I came out on top because I'm the true Elias buff on this podcast. we bring you back to the mockumentary, which we cut to New Orleans now on April 4th, which is just a few days out from WrestleMania. And Elias calls New Orleans filthy, but he respects the music tradition. And shout out to the images of Elias at just various concerts that they have here. It's like they have the Rolling Stones, and then they have a little spotlight, and it's just someone's hand, and like that's Elias. Which I thought that was a nice little touch here. We then see the surprise concert that Elias plays on Bourbon Street during WrestleMania week, which at the time when people were posting on Twitter like Elias is just at this random bar playing a fucking set, I was like, that is fucking...
Yeah, that went viral. That was a big trend.
Like, fuck yeah, do more of this shit. So yeah, we see parts of that performance, and then the crowd wants an encore, but I'm pretty sure he doesn't give them one. Like, he just walks off, so... Gotta always leave the fans wanting more. Finally, we cut to WrestleMania on April 8th. He chats to Maria Menounos and Nita Strauss before his performance, and he also gets mad that a pole falls over, and it happens again, so he grills the dude responsible, really gets stuck into him, which I don't think they were planning that, but I love that it happened.
He really dissed Andrew Strauss's sister.
I know, Andrew Strauss is a damn cricket legend.
And buddy Maria Kanellis or whatever. Who the fuck is she?
She's didn't she have a match?
Yeah.
Oh, she did. Yeah, she did with Kelly or Eve.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the one where Kelly or Maria Menounos, one of them does a stink face to whoever they're versing, and the makeup rubs off in their tights, and it looks like they shit themselves. Yeah, that's all I remember from that. Is Nita Strauss the one that was shredded on the guitar off, like, was it Shinsuke's entrance?
For Nakamura's entrance, fucking seems like every NXT show, Evolution, she does it all.
She's a damn NXT mark.
She's a wrestling mark, yeah.
NXT is cool because Vince isn't involved in it, it's just Triple H.
Because they can play Motorhead.
And they can also play Fozzy.
Exactly.
That one time they had Judas as their theme song, and then Chris Jericho got too big, and now he has his own promotion.
Yeah, we might not hear him for a while after this.
AEW is all Triple H's fault for putting Fozzy on the pay-per-view.
Exactly.
So yeah, we then see his WrestleMania performance, which I have no memory of this. Did either of you remember like what he did at WrestleMania?
Came out during when Cena was out there instead of the Undertaker, didn't he?
Is that what he did? I thought
Cena was standing there, and then Undertaker didn't come, so Elias came out, did a performance, and he talked shit about John Cena, so John Cena attacked him, and then that's when Undertaker came.
Okay, because when he was walking down to the ring, I was like, is John Cena somehow involved in this? But I was thinking that it was when Cena, does his goofy ass fucking run from sitting ringside to backstage.
Hey, but Elias played it off like nothing happened. He said the performance went well.
I think it did go well. It was one of the probably better parts of that WrestleMania.
He got attacked though.
Yeah, but a Big Red Eric Rowan got attacked by The Rock, but still, he got to beat The Rock, so... after that, we see, I think it's like a compilation of like Elias doing various things, and he has an interview with an Italian dude, and he says, "Mi piace Italiano," which impresses the interviewer, and all I have to say about that and the rest of this whole thing as a whole is così così.
Molto bene.
But yeah, that's the entire documentary, the entire Walk With Elias documentary. What did you guys think of this?
Pretty enjoyable overall. Easier to watch than WCW Thunder, that's for sure. I want them to do more stuff like this. It's very entertaining, and you get to see a different side of the wrestlers when they're not just in the ring or whatever. So yeah, they should keep doing stuff like this.
What about you, Nat?
I thought it was hilarious, and like Brody said, they should do more of them. I think there should have been more mention of Elias's theme song, though.
They really neglect Elias's theme song. It's a bit of a banger.
It is. I hate the starting bit. It goes.
Yeah, I'm not sure if that's ever been used for his entrance, actually, like, ever, but
And then it really gets going.
just really fucking shreds.
But can't wait for the sequel to his album.
Yeah, I hope they keep releasing albums for Elias. Overall, I thought this was way funnier than I was expecting it to be. I thought it was going to be just okay, but it actually made me laugh out loud quite a bit, which I wasn't expecting. And as you guys said, I hope WWE keeps doing this kind of thing, which I think they are, based on them doing Kitchen Smackdown and the Fashion File special. And when I was looking for this on the network, they also had like a specific Xavier Woods like up down down special, some arcade thing on there. So like,
That's not good. Don't watch it.
is it not good?
I watched it the other day. I've been meaning to watch it, and I need to check it out. And no, it's not great. I mean, if you want to watch him play some NBA Jam on the arcade machine, I guess go ahead.
Does he just play arcade games? Is that all it's about?
Yeah, it's in an arcade bar.
I remember back in the day before New Day really took off, following Xavier Woods, and he would just every night be like, "Oi, where are the arcade bars in this city that we're in?" I mean, that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
Also, remember when Pokemon Go was a thing? It like coincided with them coming to Australia. And Xavier Woods was just like, "Hey, I'm in the fucking city right now playing Pokemon Go. Come play Pokemon Go with me."
Well, now we're here for the Super Showdown. As Dad always tells me, they went to some guy's house.
Which is fucking creepy.
Which is weird, but...
I don't think that guy was a wrestling fan.
Yeah, I don't think he is. I mean, I've watched his videos. He just seems like a gamer.
Just like, hey, can these big hunky dudes come chill in your house all day?
His house is literally like my house, but like it's just games in it.
Oh,
That's
what a fucking nerd.
Yeah, and he actually has a wife.
Oh, yeah. Does she live in Canada too?
You don't know her.
You don't know. She's a different grade and goes to different schools. She's in Canada.
She doesn't even have social media.
Yeah, she doesn't believe in that, man. She doesn't have Facebook. She doesn't like that. Her parents don't let her. So I guess that basically does us, unless any of you have any final thoughts on Walk With Elias.
Not really.
Good pick by me.
It was a good pick.
I mean, it was an easy watch, so I guess it didn't make me vomit or anything. So
Yeah, it wasn't as brutal as 56 hours of Eric Bischoff, Larry Zbyszko, and Hollywood Hogan entrances. So
it's true.
anything was going to be a step up from last week.
That's true.
So thanks for listening to the Wrestle Hunks podcast. You can find the show on Twitter at Wrestle Hunks Pod. You can also find us on Instagram with the exact same handle. I'm on Twitter at Source Marlow. Price is on Twitter as at Evil Brody Price, and Nat is on Twitter as at Nath Marlow. You can also find the show on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, YouTube. Basically, any service that supports podcasts, you can find us there, and feel free to rate us on iTunes and any of those services too. Now, this is the part of the show where we all put up a suggestion for what we should review next week before we throw it into a Twitter poll and let all of you decide on what we'll cover. And because the Royal Rumble is coming up next week, it's a week away actually, we've decided to go for a Royal Rumble theme, obviously, and I've thrown up Royal Rumble 1992. I wanted to do some old school because I knew you boys weren't going to suggest something from the Dark Ages. So
That'll fucking win. That'll win.
Do you reckon?
Everyone says it's the best. Everyone says it's the best Royal Rumble.
But people say that about Royal Rumble 92.
Yeah.
Surely
Flair winning.
not. Do they say that's the best Royal Rumble match or like
Yeah.
best show?
Best show. Best. I don't know about best show, but best Royal Rumble match.
Because I remember looking at the card and I'm
With
pretty
a
sure
tear in my eye.
there's in the dark match, apparently Meltzer was there for it because Chris Walker defeats the Brooklyn Brawler via DQ and it gets a dud rating. So
Nice.
there's some dog shit matches here. There's Roddy Piper defeating the Mountie for the Intercontinental title.
I think it's more just the Royal Rumble match.
Bo- who the fuck is Bo Beverly and Blake Beverly, and why do they defeat the
The
Bushwhackers?
Beverly Brothers.
Well, they get minus 1.5 stars.
Nice.
There are a lot of shitty matches on this card, and then Meltzer gave the Rumble 3 3/4, and there's also a Jim Neidhart and Owen Hart match that gets 3 1/4 as well. So keep that in mind when you're voting. But Pricey, what have you decided to throw into the poll this week?
I've gone for the Royal Rumble 2015. So this is the one where Roman finally wins and gets to celebrate with his cousin, The Rock. I don't really remember a lot from this apart from that match, and I remember Brock versus Seth Rollins and John Cena was really good. So at least there'll be one good match on there, but I'm not sure about the other stuff. So
Yeah, I'm pretty sure a lot of people thought that Triple Threat was a 5-star match, which was pretty fucking good from memory.
yeah.
We also
Yeah.
get AJ Styles' debut.
No, that's
Sure.
not that one.
Don't we?
No.
Is
Or was
that
it
next year?
2016?
Oh, yeah. Too many Roman Reigns Royal Rumble moments.
I think this is the first time you and I watched the pay-per-view together, Brandon, from memory.
We watched WrestleMania 31. Oh, no, that's after this, isn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
It would have been.
Yeah, look at that. Bit of history.
Wow. And it was the Royal Rumble that Roman Reigns declared for. Suffer and succotash, son. Nat, what have you thrown into the poll?
I've got the greatest Royal Rumble, and I don't think it's the greatest. And we can start off the show with a John Cena Triple H snooze fest.
Hey, I feel like that was the best match on this card, wasn't it?
No, they did. They literally worked it like a proper house show.
The Cruiserweights match.
There's a Cruiserweight match, Cedric and Kalisto. We'll skip the fucking filler in between. There's the Fatal 4-Way ladder match for the IC title. And AJ versus Nakamura. We got a casket match. I can talk about Jericho's side of being kicked out of the casket match.
You can talk about how Chris Jericho reckons that 2018 Chris Jericho wrestling 2018 Undertaker would have been the best match on the card.
I just told Pricey that today. We
Why are we
laughed
talking like
hysterically.
What a delusional man. Like, no one can carry Undertaker to the best match on the card, no matter how good you are in 2018.
We were talking about how Finn could not carry Undertaker to a good match.
No one could. Not possible.
We've still got on here. We've got the steel cage match for the Universal title. Then we've got the 50-man Royal Rumble that features great wrestlers like Hiroki Sumi, Hornswoggle, Tucker Knight. Who else we got? Babatunde, exactly. Dan Mather.
Oh, yeah.
Dan Mather, thank you very much. It's Mather.
And then we've got the Great Khali and Chris Jericho's biggest payday for his whole career.
I actually
And,
haven't
at number
watched-
50.
I haven't watched most of those matches because I'm only going to watch it live. Fuck waking up for that. And yeah, I feel like I watched the Cena and Triple H match, the Undertaker Rusev match, and then the Royal Rumble. I didn't even watch. I had no interest in watching Roman Reigns wrestle Brock Lesnar.
We'll get to see Cheeseburger Sliders O'Neill for the 5 millionth time.
Watch out, Titus slide under the ring and then kiss his son on the lips.
Exactly right. Yeah, so the pay-per-view is not great.
I feel like you say that 92 is going to win. I reckon Greatest Royal Rumble is going to win, definitely.
I mean, then we even get to see a Mike Kanellis TV appearance. 3 seconds.
Oh, hell yeah.
I was heated about that.
So, yeah. That's
Well,
my show.
Next up is the wild card suggestion, and I decided to just throw in Royal Rumble 2003 here. I just thought we've got some recent ones in the 2015 one and the Greatest Royal Rumble, and then an old school one in 92. So I thought, you know what, Pricey likes the early 2000s, and we don't have one from that, so I was chucking in 2003.
It's a pretty bad one.
Goldberg's not in it, but...
I haven't seen this Royal Rumble at all, I don't think. Do Angle and Benoit wrestle at this Royal Rumble?
Yeah. I had this
seen
on
that
DVD when I
match.
was a kid.
But yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't seen any of this.
No, it's, it's not great, but...
I feel like Nat, you've surely watched this Royal Rumble because I've seen you in the bloody the watch history on the network, you've been watching that Brock Lesnar's rise to the undisputed title.
Yeah, I have seen this one, but that the Rise to the Undisputed title that doesn't include this one.
Really?
Because he won it before.
He won it, yeah.
Yeah.
Just a little side note. This is kind of leading into our What Should You Watch, but fucking everybody go watch that Rise to the Undisputed title. I feel like they should do that for like heaps of people. It's such a convenient way to kind of watch, like, instead of having to go through everything manually, just get all their key matches in one place.
Yeah.
Like, imagine if they had done that for Test. It would have made our Test episode so much easier.
I know.
So that's pretty much all for this episode. Do either of you have any notes before we sign off?
No. I mean, tune in this week, Brandon. You're going to be on our Wrestle Hunks Weekly podcast, so everyone look out for that.
I mean, I'm gonna give you all the top 5 Roman Reigns moments at the Royal Rumble.
And they're going to tell us, you guys are going to tell us how good Raw is, yeah? And tell me all the moments?
Yeah, I definitely watch Raw. I've definitely watched Raw in the past 3 months. What about you, Nat? Got anything to suggest to watch or anything?
Just stay safe, and if you take drugs, be careful.
You know, and if you take drugs, you're a fucking sick motherfucker.
If you take drugs, you won't be able to get them pill tested in New South Wales.
Well, with that fine line of advice, I think it's time to say that's all for this week. Stay hunky.
I'm going to go shower.
Chunky Lover 56, one word.